optic.
Mate, are you?
Coming through the second sector. Ahead of everybody but his Div 1 drivers. Joshi is about 3/4 of a tenth behind. And out and around, not a lot of battery. Very well. Nearly going off the track, but it'll be an improvement of just about half a tenth. And then end zone's going quicker. Mint Kestrel's getting a tow from that end zone. Nope, that's Ethan. Well, Ethan's actually on a lap here, so these two, it's going to be interesting. That's Spicy across the line to P7. He's done for the day. And it's Squirrel. And giving Bard a tow. Actually, no, Squirrel's going now, and then giving Bard a tow. Noel, sorry, not Squirrel. There's a lot going on. Joseph invalidated his lap. So he is done. He doesn't even get to go again. Endzone jumps to P5. Then it's Docta. All the way down and around. Docta's up 3/10. He could jump top 3. And he does. He goes to P2. Up next is going to be Squirrel. And he will not find improvement. He'll dive into the pits. And it's Ethan Turfey. And then it's Mint Kestrel. Ethan Turfey. Can he find it? Will he find it? No, he won't. Here comes Mint Kestrel, though. No, not finding any time here. Because then it's Reimer. And if Reimer can find about 3.5 tenths, he might have it up to the line. Where will he go? He'll go to P3. It won't be enough. Vixen won't have enough in the tank. It'll be up to Bard. What can Bard do? He'll respond. He'll take that place right back. Flame! Oh no! And Flame going for a lap completely loses it in the final corners as Noel. Oh my god. What has just happened? But besides the point, we're here. Division 1 for Austria is 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. And a really, really late one. Had the drivers anticipating and waiting. Joseph gets a great start. We're going to look further back immediately. Reimer's going to look for a move. Looking further back, looking further back, looking further back. Nothing happening so far. A couple just tinier moves. Reimer's immediately challenging Bard. Off the rip, these two going at it. And Mint Kestrel, he's got Reimer's side. And Reimer's going to get the move done. That's going to open eyes for Mint Kestrel as we might have had a crash. And it's actually Flame off the track and struggling today. ABJ and Ethan Turfey going at it down into turn 4. As you can see up ahead, Mint Kestrel and Spicy going at it. Sorry, not Spicy. Mint Kestrel and End Zone. As Spicy's struggling just a little bit here, and you can very well see that. Ethan Turfey going around the outside, roaring around the outside, and getting the move done on Spicy. So the Ferrari driver maybe not so comfortable in these conditions, and that's another one dropped. ABJ getting passed, and Mint Kestrel getting passed by Bard. Bard was originally ahead of Mint, but now Bard is dropped by... What's happened here? Spicy and Joshi are pitting. Do they think it's full wets? What's happened here? Oh, new wing. Oh, they got in contact. That's what's happened. And that's unfortunate. So that'll help, guys. Noel getting passed by Optic. And he's doing a little bit of taunting. Optic and Noel not on the best terms. Mint Kestrel and Bard, these two fighting immediately. And I want to keep looking a little bit further back. I want to see what happens back here. A little bit further ahead. Joseph is getting ever so slightly closer. Here you go. You're going to get a look for a move. Here comes Joseph Dunrod down the inside into turn 3. And he's going to get it done. He's struggle on the exit. He'll get the move done. Docta's going to look for a combating move into turn 4. And he'll just think better. He'll sit behind if they lose too much battery and too much time. Reimer might capitalize off of it, as Minkestrel's starting to struggle a little bit. But everybody really not liking anything that's going on. Optic and ABJ, neither of them going to be very happy with what's happening there, but Optic getting past, and Miguel's looking for a move on ABJ. ABJ went a little bit wide. These two going side by side. And Endzone with a 3-second. Miguel's still having this wing damage, being able to fight like this. Absolute respect to him, because he has given a fair fight to ABJ to and through around the outside. Is he going to get the move done? No, they're going to go too wide all the way through this entire lap, pretty much, half this lap. And Miguel's is going to immediately go back to fighting as Optics pulled a 1.6 gap in just half that lap alone because of these two fighting. And I'm not too sure what's happened ahead, but Docta's had a moment and has gotten dropped off by Joseph, and Reimer looking for a move. These two side by side, wheel banging, clashing, and they need to figure out some momentum tactic to catch back up to Joseph, because it's a 2-second gap now. I'm not really too sure on what's happened. And going down the inside, Reimer doesn't get left a proper amount of room. And these two are going to go side by side again. Reimer not quite giving it up. He's going to look around the outside. This might give Minkestrel a move, but it's giving, ultimately, Joseph Dunrod a bigger gap the more they fight. The gap has increased a second from that back straight until now, so about a third of the lap, just about through Sector 2, and here comes Minkestrel. He's got the battery advantage. He's gonna look for a move, and he doesn't get anything done. Angelos just have to sit behind Joseph fastest lap. I mean, Minkestrel's job at the moment, just slow everybody else down so my teammate can run into the lead, and I'll scoop up the remaining points. As Miguel's and ABJ still fighting, Miguel's looking for a move. I mean, this is brave, this is daring. And he's getting pushed off the track. That's a 3-second induced by ABJ, pushing him off the track, not leaving him the room. These two are going side by side once again. Flame's gonna be in the hot seat of this. Skycam, ABJ looking outside. Inside is Miguel's. Joshy gets a 3-second, but ABJ ultimately sticking ahead for now. They're gonna go side by side. Amazing camera angles. And Miguel's have to stick behind, and Optics pulled a gap. So all this battling is not going to favor ABJ due to the fact he's lost DRS, but it's not going to favor anybody in that train at all, because now Optics stranded, and Optics going to be on his own, as there's been contact. Dr. Comics had a moment. Reimer and Minkestrel losing 2 seconds. Doctor's had a moment. And who that could have been, it could have been realistically anybody. As I'm going to try and take a look to figure out who it was. But Doctor dropping down, losing so much time. Forward into the pits, he's going to pull a plug. Those medium tires are done. And Doctor down the inside on Ethan Turfy. What an overtaking spot. Down into turn 1, gets the DRS too. Ethan Turfy trying to pull something back. Reimer looking down the inside of Minkestrel. Gets the move done. Ethan Turfy back ahead of Doctor because of the battery he's had. Oh my lord. And Doctor, I thought he had it done. The move was so complete. It was so clean. His tail. But there is a 3-second penalty taxed onto Doctor's end result. So it now comes down to Reimer, how much battery he saves, and when he moves past Minkestrel. And he's actually going to go early. He's going to go for a move instantly on Minkestrel. Minkestrel maybe not expecting it. A very intriguing move. And Reimer's immediately going to go defensive. Maybe trying to waste some of Mint's battery. And doing what he can here. Reimer, Optic, and Doctor fighting. These two both off the track. Not too sure really what happened. Maybe just a racing incident as Flames AI pits him. And Optic giving the place to Doctor. Seating position, maybe. As we're on the final lap, Joseph is 22.5 seconds up the road, as Reimer needs to do everything he can to get up to P2. He's up 5/10. He's got the tire advantage. Although they might be slowly starting to wear away, he doesn't have DRS or battery advantage on the McLaren of Minkestrel. doing everything he can, swerving all over the track. Minkestrel, he's gonna get ever so closer. He's searching. And Reimer actually goes deep. Minkestrel hits the back of him, and Reimer's gonna ultimately give the position back for the time being. Gonna have to fight it at a later time. Look at him, he's waving saying sorry. Reimer's gonna give Minkestrel the position and ultimately P2. And that's just good sportsmanship from Reimer there. Ultimately, just a great sportsmanship move, and I think it's just gonna finish a 1-2 for McLaren because Reimer felt bad. Whereas Joseph's won the race. I mean, he's just so far ahead. He wins Austria. I didn't even realize he was so entitled on this fight behind. Joseph wins Austria. It's the first win for McLaren. Reimer, I'm sure he wanted that P2, but he will definitely take P3. And Minkestrel on debut will finish P2 to his teammate. Hard P4. So keeping with the championship fight, ends on P5. Ethan P6. Doctor will be P7 on track. Will come across P8. Optic P7. Miguel's from some of the drivers. Joseph will come home with the win. Minkestrel P2, Reimer P3, Bard, Endzone, Ethan, Optic, Doctor, Spicy, Miguel's, ABJ, Squirrel, Flame, Vixen, Noel, and then Joshy.